That's how we started the video off? Look at this shit.
Lick your lips. Now stick your hand in that Kool-Aid. Just stick it in there. Now take your finger, just do this to the bottom one. Come here. Now I kiss you, you orange fruit.
It's unacceptable.
Flavor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
She's
back
in disbelief.
to the next stage of reasonable crash out. Since you might show mad love to the first video I made about this topic, it got me feeling a bit gassed that you enjoyed that video. So I decided to run it back with a part 2. I'm talking about the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice. I appreciate all of you that tapped into the first video, and trust me, this one's gonna go crazy. Today I got a new list of crash outs that were just making sense. Actions that we would all be doing if these situations happen to us. Things that would make our blood pressure spike, making us tap into our hidden rage, and basically making us tweak out like we the whole. And in this video, I'm gonna be discussing them for you guys and enlightening you to my wisdom. So without further introduction, let's jump right in, man. And we're beginning with one of the greatest leaders of all time, Optimus Prime. And before I even go explaining this, Optimus Prime is one of the, if not the most motivational person in all of movie history. Every time this guy gives his final speech in the middle or the end of the movies, that shit would have me from completely doing nothing to immediately becoming mad overproductive. Usually in the mornings, I'm comped out till 3 p.m. But when Optimus starts speaking, I just jump out my bed, start doing shit. It's crazy. But we're getting off topic here. Bayverse Optimus Prime is the literal definition of riding out for the man there. This man was taking revenge to a whole new level and still on business in all these movies. I'm not gonna lie, I ain't joking. When it would get to the second half of all the Transformers movies, Optimus would waste no time and just start giving everybody serious work, fam. And the craziest thing is, Optimus is so chill. Before any of the fights, he always upholds more of a calm and respectful demeanor and seems like somebody who's the last person to get mad over anything. Like he gives the impression of being the guy who tells everybody else to calm down when they're mad. But instead of that, Optimus is the last person you wanna mess with, fam. I'm telling you. So with that being said, let me give you a deep analysis as to why Optimus was a proper bug out, man. In the second Transformers movie, it follows after the event of when Sam destroyed the cube when he killed Megatron in the first one. Megatron then gets revived by a shot of the Allspark and returns. And look at this.
That nigga Megatron always came back, bro. I swear to God, man. Yeah, that nigga always came back. I ain't gonna pause the video, my fault.
Ugly ass guy Starscream. This guy was built too wide, looking like a whole Dorito. This guy was ugly as hell, man. Megatron and the Fallen get to yapping and start plotting, saying they're gonna use Sam as bait to go ahead and murk Optimus. Then Megatron captures Sam, but the Autobots jump in there and just start finessing the Decepticons. Sam and Optimus eventually escape this and get to an open plane where Megatron is right on his hip. And right after this, Optimus just starts going crazy. He starts beating the shit out of Megatron so bad he had to start calling back up. And Optimus was still working all these men by himself, giving everybody an S-tier ass whooping. I'm talking about bodies. The guy literally clawed a guy's face in half. This guy was a menace, man. But sadly, Megatron sneaks Optimus and just kills my man. And I was low-key crying at this because that shit was weak as hell. You ain't never sneak no one, man. That's trash. Oh my god, Optimus. I was crying. But that didn't last long because my goal Optimus has been revived and he was straight up aura farming as soon as he came back. The guy literally started digifusing with Jetfire, becoming the most hardest character in Transformers low-key. And you can tell from his face, Optimus was ready for that get back. And my man didn't waste any more time. Optimus started giving the Fallen an astronomical ass whooping. I'm talking about he
I'm not gonna lie, Transformers was
he absolutely
gas
violated this man and ripped his face off completely, moving like a whole Scooby-Doo reveal, fam, and just donuts him like he's one anime character. This guy is a sicko, man. But fellow members of the public, this wasn't the last time we would see Optimus crash out, and this definitely wasn't the worst crash out he's done. In the third movie, after Sentinel betrays him and kills Ironhide, rest in peace to my guy Ironhide, man, that was my brother for real. Sentinel then trashes the whole research facility, finessing a bunch of stuff in the process. And bro, I hate the government in superhero movies because why were they trying to blame Optimus saying it's his fault when he didn't even know about?
I ain't gonna fake, bro. Like, if you lived in this world, like, what the fuck would you do? You got fucking cars turning into giant robots stomping on shit. Like, what the fuck will you do? Honestly.
Alright, shut up, man. What are you talking about? So with the humans blaming the Autobots, Optimus and the rest of the man then decide to leave the world because they think if they go, the Decepticons are gonna go. And these dumbasses were more than wrong about that because in not even 5 seconds from this, the Decepticons just start doing a whole invasion on Chicago, fam. And this is why I hate the government in superhero movies. They're low-key useless, man. Like in Transformers, they're just straight haters. They always be complaining, but they also be riding these man, begging them to back them when they need them. Piss off, man. Bun you. What are you talking about? And this isn't just in Transformers, it's a normal trope amongst other
Nah,
superhero
this all
movies, but
superhero
we're gonna
movies,
talk
bro.
about
This-
that another
this
time.
shit
Don't
is
worry. So
stupid.
Optimus and the man
But
them
you
pull
know
up,
what's
and you
gonna
can see in
happen.
Optimus's face, this guy is pissed off, man. And I forgot to mention this, but after the humans send the Autobots into space, the Decepticons tried to kill them and blow them up. And since Optimus survived, bro was ready to get his revenge. He was even saying when he came back, he's gonna kill all the Decepticons. This guy was low-key going psycho, bro. And what happens next is one of the craziest moments in all of Transformers. Optimus just enters the fight and absolutely starts finessing all the Decepticons, dismantling them completely. I'm talking about he's hitting a times 30 combo on them like this is Street Fighter or something. He's going mad. And this was really one of the most cinematic scenes in the whole franchise. This shit was low-key beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. But then Optimus sees the Op Sentinel and just starts straight giving this guy this work in a 1v1. And then it just goes on to a scene of Megatron, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Megatron was shook of Optimus the entire third movie. After Optimus finessed this guy completely in the second movie, he literally wore a cloak the whole entire third movie because he was definitely shook of running the fate of Optimus. And shit, I would be too with the way Optimus doesn't play about getting revenge. I'm not gonna lie, he gets a get back deviously. But somehow, Megatron gets
do
convinced
get
to back
that
Optimus and
deviously.
starts helping him against Sentinel. And then
Tommy.
this guy was getting so brave, he thought he could run the fate of Optimus. And
No,
then my
these
chat, I
clips
was
this nigga
thinking,
putting in the
damn,
video, these
he really
shits
about to
is
rock his
yeah.
shit. So Optimus with one arm just slices and
Gumball.
splits Megatron completely, bruv, ending this whole man's career. And then Optimus just picks up his strap and double pumps Sentinel like it's Fortnite and completely ends this man's whole existence, bro. Optimus just carried a common personality trait throughout the movies, and that was that he literally just doesn't take anyone's shit. Optimus isn't your average type of heroic character. In the Bayverse movies, he doesn't follow the whole mercy idea most heroes live by instead. I would actually say Optimus just follows a mindset of doing whatever's necessary to protect humanity and the rest of the Autobots. Optimus has shown time and time again throughout the movies he has no problem killing anyone. He literally doesn't hesitate to do so, and normally I feel like people would have something against this, pointing him out as a menace or possibly even a villain himself. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, Bayverse Optimus was definitely a crasher. He was low-key being a psycho in the first 3 movies, I'll be honest. But if you look at every time he would be fighting the Decepticons and going to his extreme methods, it was most of the time because they did something crazy to him or his friends. Like in the second movie, how he literally died, they killed him. But what person would be normal if they died and got resurrected back to life, bro? They're obviously gonna crash out. And you could argue heroes are meant to be better and take this type of stuff on the chin. But the guy literally died, fam. This
I feel like heroes like being all good and stuff, bro. Like be realistic, bro. Like Batman, he the only one that can get away with. Everybody else, bro. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, Batman be tripping too with that shit. Red Hood is the true depiction of what a fucking hero is. Well, a hero would be in this world, I'm gonna be honest. It's crazy to say, but like sometimes you gotta off a nigga. I'm sorry. If they got superpowers and they just like going on mass murder streaks, you gotta off a nigga. I'm sorry. You got like, bro, you gotta get him, bro. You can't just let that nigga just keep moving. Like a nigga like the Joker, bro, you can't let that nigga live. I'm sorry. Like it ain't our place, but bro, we gotta get him going, bro. Make sure this nigga ain't like fucking break everything, like cripple this nigga, paralyze his ass, I guess. Cause like, bro, no. Cause basically you letting him live is basically leading to somebody else dying. Shit's cooked, bro.
This was a whole different
killing the whole
situation. And
fucking
in the
world.
third movie, it wasn't just about Sentinel killing Ironhide. It was also about the betrayal Sentinel did to Optimus. Optimus respected Sentinel and even almost gave this guy the matrix of leadership that would have probably made him stronger and the most powerful in the movie. It was a breach of trust as much as it was a murder of his friend. He looked up to Sentinel. He used to be his student, and the fact that he betrayed him was probably a lot for Optimus to even deal with at the time. And then on top of that, he also murdered Ironhide, one of his longest friends and comrades surviving the end of Cybertron. That shit will probably hit deep for anyone and they would start going crazy about it. But Optimus has so much crash out working.
Oh,
From
Angstrom.
getting jumped and murdered to the betrayal of his teacher murdering his best friend to even in the fourth movie when they found out they were making Transformers, fam. What kind of mockery is that? But Optimus bugging out in all the movies just made sense. And even though he was straight up bugging and murdering people, he was moving like that for a reason. Now going on to my next crash out, I'm gonna talk about Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda. And I'm not gonna lie to you, they hold this man differently in the movie. As much as I think Paul was definitely meant to become the Dragon Warrior when he started finessing Tai Lung at the end of the movie to even learning one of the most difficult and overpowered techniques they could learn, the Wuxi finger. But apart from that, there is no way in hell Tai Lung wasn't meant to become the Dragon Warrior. This guy was robbed, fam. I want you guys to picture it like this. From when you were just a little kid, you've been training, working hard, eating a certain way, sleeping early as hell, and dedicating your life to a certain goal. And the craziest thing about this is that it wasn't your goal. It was your dad's goal that he pushed on you because he saw that you had talent and promise. Fast forward from this, and now when the day has finally arrived for you to follow your destiny, you get shot down. And you know what? That's fine. Tai Lung got shot down by Oogway, and it happens, you know, it's part of life.
I feel like Sifu, this whole movie is Sifu fault. If Sifu would have just asked Oogway if this nigga was the Dragon Warrior before, then none of this shit would have happened, bro. So yes, it's a reasonable crash out. Yes. And it ain't like he was killing niggas, bro. He was over them. You know, and he was just knocking them out, bro. That was still alright, bro. You know? So I feel like yes, it's a reasonable crash out.
Feel me? But my people, this wasn't the craziest part of this whole thing. The most insane part about finding out he's not the Dragon Warrior was that later on in the movie when Tai Lung actually explained what happened, Shifu did not back Tai Lung at all. He didn't say nothing about his training. He didn't say nothing about his promise. He didn't even say anything about him in general. He just turned his back on him, fam. Imagine that. Imagine your own
dad turning your back on you.
Somebody else couldn't see what you could do. What the hell are we talking about here? No wonder he crashed out, bro, because I would too. I'm not gonna lie. The revelation this gave me when
Tai Lung had one of the only, like, nigga, he's one of the only kids to beat their dad ass. I'm gonna be honest. Even though that's not his real dad, he beat that nigga ass. Like, boy.
Watch the movie was that I realized Shifu was dead wrong for this. Bro was glazing Oogway differently here. That he took his side over his own adopted son, fam. This guy's a criminal, bruv. And bear in mind, who used to say that Tai Lung even wanted to be a fighter in the first place? Shifu just saw him beat the shit out of a bag and was just thinking this guy would be a legend one day. This is like African parents at parent-teacher talks only caring about mathematics and nothing else. I like science, you know. I like mixing chemicals and shit like I'm Walter White. What the hell, man? Tai Lung just being a complete menace the entire movie after this whole interaction just made a whole lot of sense. The whole entire scrap he had against Shifu when he came over to him was us just really learning that Shifu was dead wrong for what he did to Tai Lung. The entire fight, he was just vented to this man saying shit like this.
Who filled my head with dreams? Who drove me to train until my bones crashed? Who denied me my destiny?
And during this fight, there's even more moments that make you realize that Shifu was a straight bozo to Tai Lung. Like when Tai Lung shares that all he ever wanted to do for Shifu was to make him proud. That's why in the first flashback Tiger shares the part about Tai Lung, as soon as he kicks the bag, you can see the first thing that he tried to do straight away was just look at Shifu so he could get his reaction. He just wanted Shifu to acknowledge him and give him attention like any kid wants from his parents. Shifu even told him things like he's destined for greatness, pushing the Dragon Warrior ideology on him even more. Tai Lung has to be the most misunderstood villain in all the Kung Fu Panda movies. The guy was lied to, betrayed by the only person he wanted validation from to be better. And the fact that he sided with Oogway and didn't even say anything to Tai Lung was real crazy, fam, I'm not gonna lie. And then they just decided to chuck him into prison to stop him from getting a scroll which had nothing on it. That's peak, fam, I'm not gonna lie. To me at least, I don't even see Tai Lung as a villain. I see him as more of a broken person rather than the bad guy. Tai Lung obviously had some villain moments, like when he escaped prison and absolutely beat the shit out of everyone there, to when he just dismantled the entire Furious 5. As much as these are bad moments to hold against Tai Lung, remember what originally even caused Tai Lung to do this in the first place, my people. At the end of the day, Shifu's the reason why this guy's like this. And if you ask me, Tai Lung ain't a villain. He's just a guy with issues, man, I'll be honest. And now this brings me to the final crash out of this video. And the person I'm about to bring up has to be one of the most relatable people of all time. His crash out was so justified that I truly believe that this guy had one of the most tragic moments in all of fiction, fam. This shit low-key was making me feel sorry for this guy, bro. But without further yapping, let me introduce the final crash out of the video. Ken from the B movie. And I'ma just cut this shit.
Don't text me. Imagine getting your bitch took by a bee.
Shit, and get straight to it. Ken was right the entire movie. There is no way in hell that the movie really tried to paint him as the bad guy when Barry literally destroyed his relationship. Barry is just a bee, fam. His girlfriend literally broke up with him for a bee, bro. Ken was the only character in the movie actually questioning and being weirded out by Barry. Everybody else was somehow okay with seeing and hearing a talking bee, acting like that's normal. But somehow Ken was being painted as the crazy one in the movie. What are we talking about here, man? When I first watched this movie as a kid, I obviously fell for the trap believing Ken was the villain of the movie as he tried to kill Barry. I was just moving mad sus of him the entire movie. But as I've grown up and my brain has developed, I can't feel anything but sorry for this guy because he was the only normal person in the movie. The guy literally got his girl taken by a bee and she didn't even know Barry for that long as well. That's insane, fam. Truth be told though, I think their relationship was failing already. But that's beside the point because it's the fact that his girlfriend took Barry's side more than his own. And the guy is literally allergic to bees and she still took Barry's side. That shit is mind-boggling, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And Ken isn't allergic like you get a whole rash on your arm type of shit from bees. The guy is deathly allergic to bees. He could have died if he stung him, fam. And she was out here having a whole dinner with Barry as well, and Barry was sitting on his chair, fam. I'll be tweaking there as well, I'm not gonna lie. Imagine you had a whole long day at work, having a whole 12-hour shift, back-breaking hours, and you come home to a nice cooked meal, and all you see is your partner eating with a bee, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If I saw this, I'm gonna sign out of life, bro. I swear down. And I love the whole story of the bee movie of how Barry was trying to get rid of exploitation of bees for honey, but that whole thing didn't matter because they all gave them honey at the end of the movie anyway. Ken was the only sane person in the entire movie actually making sense. And DreamWorks really tried to make us think that he's really the bad guy. When we all know if we were in the same position as Ken to be losing your partner to a talking bee in the space of like a couple of days, we would all be crashing out and going crazy. Be for real, man. In conclusion, Ken was right the whole movie, bro. Ken was right. But we at the end of the video, and these were some more crash outs I had. If you lot got any more crash outs or even disagree with the ones I mentioned in this video, write them down below so I can see
free
the different
Ken,
ones you
bro.
man got.
Free Ken, bro. Shout out. What's bro name? Shout out Waze. Y'all go on. Go fuck with this. Thanks.
Bye, have a great time.